everybody, and welcome back to another video of ours. Today we are actually at a slab yard. As you can tell, we are at a slab yard that's right next to my office. My office is right there. I can look at it from here. And I bring all of my clients here first because it's right next to us. So yeah, we're here. We're at Sun Marble. We're on location, and I just wanted to show you and describe a little bit about the difference between granite and quartz. So there is differences between them. They're similar but different, and I will go ahead and explain those to you today.
Dare to dream. Dare to love the home you live in. Keystone Kitchen and Bath.
So what I really wanted to talk about today was the difference between granite and the difference between quartz, which is really not that much of a difference, but I still wanted to explain this to you because I always explain this to all of my clients, so I just wanted to make a video for it. So this right here is granite, and this is a natural material. It is found in nature. It comes from quarries from all over the world. So what they do is they'll go to Brazil, India, really anywhere in the world that there's a nice color to them, and they'll mine them. And they'll take them and they'll cut them in slices like what we saw outside. That's what they do. So that used to be a big, huge rock. And what they do is they slice them into small little sections, and that's where we get our countertops, and those would be custom. So when you do that, you're able to do any type of edging like this, or just really any edging that you would like that we could custom make for you. So now with quartz, you have a lot more variety as far as colors go because they are a man-made stone. So they're about 70 to 80% granite resin, but then they also use epoxy so to bind it all together, so that actually makes one large countertop. So I do like granite. It is my favorite because it does have that natural movement, and you don't really get that in a quartz. The quartz are a lot more of a solid color, and they're more uniform all throughout. When granite isn't. Granite, you're gonna have your movement, you're gonna have some type of pattern. With the quartz, you can get a lot more different colors, and there's so much to choose from. There's just so much to choose from. You can choose a lot from granite too, but there's just a lot more variation in the quartz. Now, there is one brand that I personally like if you want to do quartz, and I'll talk about a reason why you might want to do quartz opposed to granite, and that has to do with maintenance. With Cambria, if you go to Cambria.com, I believe is the website. I'll put it on the link. Cambria, they actually do a quartz that looks and resembles granite, so they do have the natural pattern. They have a lot of different colors to choose from. Of course, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than your colors. So with pricing too, is depending on the color that you choose from and the brand, that's what you're gonna get. And that jiggling here, that's onyx, so just don't mind the little jiggling. He's walking around the shore. So yeah, that's pretty much it for granite and quartz, the difference between that. The other thing is maintenance. With granite, you do have to seal it. I recommend every 6 months to a year, depending on how much cooking you do. With the quartz, you don't really have to seal it, and the reason for that is because granite is a porous material and quartz isn't. The reason you might want to do quartz opposed to granite is the maintenance. So with the maintenance is you would have to seal it every 6 months to a year for the granite. But with quartz, you don't have to seal it because quartz is poreless. And I'll show you a little test. So granite is a pore. It has a lot of pores. So when it gets wet, the water soaks in. Also, if you have grease, it's going to soak in. This is why we recommend you sealing it. See, this just goes through. maybe this is the worst example to show you because it's so dark, but the water just soaks through, so it doesn't stay. Let me show you the quartz and what it does when you pour something on it. It stays as a bubble. This one, it just kind of goes all over the place. So as you can see, the quartz stays as a bubble because it's poreless. The quartz is a poreless material, so it's not going to soak in, so you don't have to seal it. So that's what happens when you have grease. You obviously want to wipe it down, you want to clean it, you don't want to leave it there because it could possibly leave a stain. But this is what it's going to look like. And then over here, it just kind of spreads all over. That's because this is a very pore material. So there's a lot of pores in here, and this is why the water doesn't bubble. It soaks through, and this is why you need to seal the granite. And so that's just a little test. I want to show you as far as maintenance goes. It's really easy to take care of your granite. When we install it, before we install it actually, we seal it with a professional granite sealer, so that you don't have to seal it maybe a year from when it's being installed, or you don't have to seal it again from the time it was installed. But you want to seal it at least 6 months to a year, and that just depends on how much you're cooking. You don't want to use anything aggressive, like anything that has ammonia. You want to stay away from. I've had people wanting to use Windex. You don't want to use Windex because that has ammonia, and what it's going to do is just going to eat up at your sealer. Not going to happen. Your granite, nothing's going to happen to your granite. It's just that it's going to eat up at your sealer, and you don't want to do that. You want it to be sealed so it doesn't get stained. And then you could also have like water marks, but that has to do, if you have hard water, you're going to have the hard water marks, and that'll be a lot more noticeable if you have a darker granite or a darker stone. Think of it as having a black car. So if you have a black car and you get water stains, that's basically what's happening with the granite. So that's why you want to seal it, and you want to wipe it off as soon as you see anything. But that's going to happen with anything, whether you have quartz or you have granite, you're still going to get those water spots if you have hard water at home. One more thing that you may want to consider as well is the heat ratio for granite and quartz. So because quartz is a man-made stone, you really don't want to put anything too hot directly on it, because it may leave a ring, or it might do something really weird with the chemicals, because this is made with chemicals. So they say that you can do up to 350 degrees, but just to be safe, we recommend you to do 250 degrees, and that's just for you to be safe. But I just recommend, just don't do it. Just put a towel on it, because you don't want to ruin your really expensive countertops. Now with granite, it's okay for you to put hot on it, but the thing is, granite sometimes has the garnets, the bigger garnets you can see, they're just like these big spots on it. Those are the garnets on the granite. So if you put anything too hot, it may possibly make the granite to pop. So you may not want to do that either. So just always be careful with the heat. Don't put anything too hot directly on it. I just always recommend put a towel or a hot plate or something, just so that you can put your pots on it. You don't want to put it directly on the heat. Thank you for your interest in wanting to learn about granite and quartz and the difference, and I hope I explained just a little bit. That was just the surface. Obviously I didn't go into really much detail or in depth, because there's a lot to know on those two little subjects, but that gives you an idea for when you're shopping for granite and quartz, and maybe give you a little bit more of an educated idea or educated purchase for when you are doing your remodel. So just stick around for next week, because we are going to talk about the difference between prefab granite and quartz and custom granite and quartz. What is the difference? What is the difference between prefabricated granite and custom quartz? So So thank you for joining, and we'll talk to you later.